records together. They both fucked Aaliyah. They shared so much in common. You know?
You know, on one of the shows, one of the events when they was in Madison Square Garden, prior to that event, he said like days before the event, he was getting death threats that he felt like was coming from Jay-Z. Like,
we'll expose somebody that we all forget about. Y'all see this picture of Jay-Z with Aaliyah when she was underage? Y'all forgot about Jay, huh? We only know about Damon Dash messing with Aaliyah and R. Kelly.
R. Kelly was the first corporately sponsored pedophile in the United States.
that's crazy.
Everybody knew.
Bragelina is long gone, and it's been a hot minute since the Carters took over as the biggest power couple in the entertainment industry as a whole. Except the two have left a long list of people either dead or abandoned to get where they are. And no one has done more than Jay-Z, who was once a friend of R. Kelly. When we think of the Carters, we think of a perfectly talented couple with great children who are already winning Grammys and charting on the Billboard Hot 100. But you have to think of exactly how they got here. While it's easy to think that they were just so talented that the universe aligned and they got lucky, there are only so many coincidences until you realize that something is wrong. For Jay-Z, the rapper that currently sits on the throne of hip-hop as head of the influential label Roc Nation, it becomes obvious when you look at his deep, decades-long relationship with the infamous R. Kelly. So, where does it start? The two rappers go way back, with their first collaboration being in 1996.
Jay-Z first worked with R. Kelly in 1996 on the Changing Faces track, All My Days. It was a song that was written and produced by R. Kelly for the Space Jam.
Their friendship and marketability ended up with them collaborating on a joint album. Back then, while Jay-Z was on the rise to becoming a well-established artist, R. Kelly was considered one of the top rappers in the game.
So it was the buzz that was generated by the track Fiesta, as well as Guilty Until Proven Innocent, that made R. Kelly and Jay-Z start to think it might be a good business decision if the two dropped a joint album and went on tour together. In 2002, Jay-Z and R. Kelly threw a huge press conference to announce their new joint album and tour, The Best of Both Worlds.
Just the idea of having a whole album, myself and R. Kelly, an amazing prospect. Best of Both World tours come to city near you soon.
Definitely.
Until shit eventually hit the fan.
Welcome to the best of both worlds.
October 29th, 2004, Madison Square Garden. Fans are waiting for Jay-Z and R. Kelly to take the stage in what's about to go down as one of the most controversial hip-hop concerts in history. When you go back and look at the buzz around this tour, it's hard to imagine that this show ended up with R. Kelly in the hospital and Jay-Z getting sued for $75.
Of course, it didn't happen overnight. Issues started with their first collaborative album, The Best of Both Worlds. Its release was already talked about after it got leaked a month prior to release, but it was when R. Kelly's first allegations broke out that the media went into a frenzy.
Kelly breaks his silence. Tonight, the R&B star responds to allegations regarding sex with underage girls.
Jay-Z moved pretty quickly to distance himself from this disgusting.
He's always had a good head on his shoulders, and the rapper quickly distanced himself from his friend, refusing to do any sort of promotions for the album. That saw the first cracks appear in their relationship. He gave an interview where he said that contact with R. Kelly was sparse.
Welcome to the best of both worlds.
October 29th, 2004, Madison Square Garden. Fans are waiting for Jay-Z and R. Kelly to take the stage in what's about to go down as one of the most controversial hip-hop concerts in history. When you go back and look at the buzz around this tour, it's hard to imagine that this show ended up with R. Kelly in the hospital and Jay-Z getting sued for $75 million.
I pull up with the big boy truck, nigga, big boy truck. We be the only big boys that the big boy watch. Go get him, Kel.
He also made it clear that he had had nothing to do with the allegations. He clarified that he thought of the tour as a missed opportunity because of all the work that had gone into it and the joint tour, but that was it. It had nothing to do with his career.
I believe I can fly.
It was actually childhood classic and softcore bunny rabbit porno Space Jam that brought these two together. Jay-Z first worked with R. Kelly in 1996 on the Changing Faces track All My Days. It was a song that was written and produced by R. Kelly for the Space Jam soundtrack.
Yeah, we going house shopping. Everybody wanna know the price of spouse dropping. Keep that on the low, my Kelly style is quite shocking.
Fun fact, Jay-Z also actually ghost wrote the song Buggin' by Bugs Bunny.
Who got Bugs Bunny money? I give you some kind to get more carrots every time I rhyme.
Meek Mill didn't have anything to say about that one. R. Kelly and Jay-Z went on to work together again in 1998 on a track called We Ride from R. Kelly's album R.
Better school that kid on whose shoes that is, or who I be, nigga, VIP,
But things really heated up for the duo in the year 2000 when Jay-Z appeared on the remix of R. Kelly's smash song Fiesta, which I can only assume was inspired by his own love of affordable two-door hatchbacks. The year 2000 was a hot year for Jay-Z and R. Kelly because they also linked up on the questionably titled Guilty Until Proven Innocent. Even Aaliyah was filmed dancing to it in 2001.
The DJ was hot, played all the records.
Later, he even invited R. Kelly to perform as a guest on his tour.
Position on R. Kelly seemed to loosen up pretty considerably within the next year. Jay-Z was more than happy to bring R. Kelly out on his fake retirement tour in 2003 for the Black Album.
One thing led to another, and they decided to make another album together, aptly called Unfinished Business. When asked why he was working with the rapper, despite the allegations made against him, Jay-Z could only flout the question.
Why he's welcomed him back after this scandal.
I can understand your reasoning on why y'all didn't promote the last album. Now y'all have given this man a second chance.
This is something that the people want to see. You know what I'm saying? Why would you call it a second chance? The first thing that happened, life, it comes before entertainment.
And it was the joint tour for this album that marked the end of their relationship. The first night of the tour was on September 29th, 2004, and ended with R. Kelly complaining that Jay-Z's camp had sabotaged the light setup during his set.
Is the show complaining that he thinks that Jay-Z's crew sabotaged his lighting setup to ruin his show.
The first night, it was terrible.
Due to technical difficulties, we don't believe in bringing a show that's half-assed to our fans.
The next day, R. Kelly was 2 hours late to the concert.
So the second night, the guy is on the bus. I'm waiting downstairs 2 hours.
The next few shows went calmly, and it looked like the tour might finish after all. Except on October 17th, 2004, Jay-Z left a show early saying that he had a family emergency, except he was photographed at Usher's birthday party later that night. Just a few days later, on the October 23rd show, R. Kelly attacked a light technician backstage, although no charges ended up being pressed.
World show short. It's later reported that R. Kelly actually assaulted the lighting technician on the show, though no charges were pressed. Following this incident, shows in Hartford and Milwaukee were cancelled.
Hartford is very upset about the fact y'all ain't coming through tonight.
Unfortunately, the show got canceled because we have to fix lights. We got to fix some things that broke down with the tour.
It has nothing to do with y'all ain't speaking to each other.
Nah, but we're not married, you know what I'm saying?
A few days later, after the official release of Unfinished Business, R. Kelly again causes issues at the October 29 show, saying that he had reason to believe his life was being threatened.
Cool. Now, he never explicitly states what's on this call, but he suggests that somebody is threatening his life. About 45 minutes into his set, R. Kelly leaves the stage and announces to the audience,
I simply told my fans, I think somebody flashed some guns at me.
While R. Kelly is cowering in his dressing room, Jay-Z is out on stage absolutely destroying the crowd.
Everybody, you okay? You safe? There's no guns in the building. I really tried to hold this thing together. I really tried. I was really patient.
Now at this point, R. Kelly goes backstage and he's told that security swept the area and they don't believe that there's any threat and it's safe for him to go back on stage. Some people that were at the event said that R. Kelly wanted to get back out on stage because he was jealous of the response that Jay-Z was getting.
If people give me love, he has a problem with that, like his ego.
And then R. Kelly lands in the hospital. Not because of a gun, but because of pepper spray.
As R. Kelly and his crew are climbing the stairs to get back to the stage, a man called Ty pepper sprays R. Kelly and his entire security team.
Tyron Ty Smith just happens to be one of Jay-Z's childhood friends. And while his partner was at the hospital because of him, Jay-Z continued the show and even invited artists like Usher and Mary J. Blige on stage to perform with him.
The day after all of this went down, both Jay-Z and R. Kelly call into Angie Martinez on Hot 97 to give each of their sides of the story.
You cannot get a gun in Madison Square Garden. Are you crazy?
Jay, there's rumors that R. Kelly's in the hospital right now.
Whatever.
First of all, I was threatened earlier. I came anyway. I saw a guy looking real hard at me. Did I ever see a gun? No, I didn't. Did I see somebody dressed like they had a gun? Twice. He's telling me, it'll be cool. I said, no, it ain't cool unless y'all go find that guy. Going up the stairs to go on stage. This guy sprayed with some pepper spray in my eyes. And I can't get no names who that is, right?
As for what happened to Tai Tai, his end is very telling of whether he had been instructed to do what he did.
And all of this was, of course, Tai Tai. Now, Tai Tai was hit with a charge of third-degree assault for the pepper spray incident. But Tai Tai eventually took a plea deal for the lesser charge of disorderly conduct. Tai Tai was actually chosen to be the vice president of A&R at Def Jam Records under Jay-Z.
Of course, there was the $75 million lawsuit that R. Kelly slapped Jay-Z with as well. But that fiasco was eventually settled out of court for an undisclosed sum. So what does this story tell us about Jay-Z? Well, Jaguar Wright puts it perfectly when she calls him a pleasant businessman.
Other than the fact that we had a pleasant working relationship and he was an excellent businessman.
21 years.
21 years.
She also went into Jay-Z's humble beginnings, pointing out that he had first made a name for himself as a friend of Big L. After his friend died, Jay-Z suddenly started working with all the big names in the industry.
Street battle in New York, but he didn't show up as Jay-Z. He didn't show up as the hottest rapper on the street. He showed up as the nigga that was with Big L.
Rest
for
in
those
peace.
of you.
Rest in peace, Big L.
Rest in peace, Big L.
One of the
That was
dopest.
the
One of the
sensei.
dopest. Yes.
Big L was who put Jay-Z on.
Without question.
And then Big L died, and then the next thing you know, Jay-Z. And then, he starts clienteling with Tupac and clienteling with Biggie and doing songs with Biggie and building a working, camaraderie with Honeycombs and AKA Diddy. And everybody's talking about Jay-Z, and don't get me wrong, there is nobody who loves Reasonable Doubt more.
She pointed out producer Just Blaze, who was one of his biggest producers until Jay-Z and former partner Damon Dash discovered Kanye West.
You're a billionaire. Where the fuck is Just Blaze?
That's the question.
Why is he's not at least an executive at Roc Nation? He's not at least an executive at Tidal?
At least.
Like I said, Biggie died, Tupac died.
And then she spoke about how Jay-Z was the only one left standing after NA's had a breakdown.
The fight between who was the top rapper now, Nas and Jay-Z, and then the next thing you know, Nas has a nervous breakdown and he's taken out of the game, and it's all Jay-Z.
It's all Jay-Z.
It's all Jay-Z. And he was working with R. Kelly.
She then brought up R. Kelly and his work, saying that they both slept with Aaliyah, and that's where our next can of worms will open. Of course, she didn't forget to point out that Jay-Z also conveniently forgot he ever collaborated with R. Kelly.
You're a billionaire. Where the fuck is Just Blaze?
That's the question.
Why is he's not at least an executive at Roc Nation? He's not at least an executive at Tidal?
At least.
Like I said, Biggie died, Tupac died. There was the fight between who was the top rapper now, Nas and Jay-Z, and then the next thing you know, Nas has a nervous breakdown and he's taken out of the game, and it's all Jay-Z.
It's all Jay-Z.
It's all Jay-Z. And he was working with R. Kelly.
Jaguar Wright has a very clear idea of what she thinks of Jay-Z.
And that's like it never happened. Whoever talks about best of the both worlds, best of both worlds. Nobody talks about that.
Nobody talks about this shit.
Nobody talks about that project.
That nigga swept that smooth.
In case you missed it, the last line was another jab at him trying to get with Aaliyah, except she was dating Dash. Here's where Beyonce comes in, because while Aaliyah was alive, there was no room for Queen Bey.
Like, I don't give a fuck if you wanted to get away from your homie, if you wanted to get away from your partner, but to do it the way he did it, it's malicious. But maybe that was because he was fucking the girl that didn't want you.
Oh. Let the church say amen.
I don't know. Then just move right over to Def Jam. By the way, wasn't this all around the time when Aaliyah died?
Yeah.
And Beyonce's solo career was struggling? Jam on your horn now, that fucking bullshit ass record. From the Austin Powers shit was so.
She asked a very important question. At what point do you start questioning how lucky someone can get in their career?
Way intelligent person, when do you start questioning how lucky some motherfuckers keep getting?
Right.
Is it really a conspiracy if the same person keeps benefiting off the same kind of tragedy over and over and over again? So to answer your question, I'm sure he's always...
She said that despite everything he's done, there's probably no chance of retribution, and he'll always be a billionaire. He's even putting all of his friends on the primetime Super Bowl shows.
Jennifer Lopez, Shakira, all Roc Nation. Now Rihanna, and then we had the whole LA thing, which of course he was involved in that, and then they pulled Mary J. Blige off to, you know, make sure she got that money for Kendall, and you know, they had that whole moment, you know, but all he's doing is using his friends and the people that he fucks with, or at least the people that signs his non-disclosure agreements, he keeps getting them the Super Bowl gigs. So I mean, like, he's doing all kinds of stuff, you know, and I do not begrudge him. It's just, if you gotta do.
Meanwhile, R. Kelly's cellmate revealed that the rapper thought Jay-Z had tried to murder him because of his success.
Yeah. He felt like you know, on one of the shows, one of the events when they was in Madison Square Garden, prior to that event, he said like days before the event, he was getting death threats that he felt like was coming from Jay-Z. Like Jay-Z was trying to basically, it may sound outrageous, but he felt like Jay-Z wanted to get him killed for whatever reason. I don't know if it could have been some Illuminati sacrifice type shit. I don't know. He don't know. You know what I mean? But that's how he felt. And so when that event went bad, you know, Jay-Z got top, pepper sprayed him and shit. So he canceled the tour on his end. And
he even pointed out that he played a part in his downfall by funding a documentary on him called Surviving R. Kelly.
And you know, Dream Hampton is the executive producer of Surviving R. Kelly. You know, that's her project, and that's Jay-Z ex-girlfriend, and you know, he funded mostly all of her projects, if not all. So R. Kelly felt like Jay-Z, you know, not that it was his idea, but he felt like Jay-Z funded that and basically funded his downfall.
Of course, it looks like Kelly conveniently forgot his being a convicted sex offender, but he did have a point when he apparently said that the industry was focusing on him, but ignoring the fact that Jay-Z was no better.
R. Kelly pointed out to me is that, like, he basically was saying, like, just look at how hard they coming down on me with all the shit that go on in the industry, and look at how they never said nothing about how when Jay-Z was messing with Foxy Brown, she was 15. You know, everybody knew that, but nobody ever bashed him about it like they bashing me over Aaliyah. And he was basically saying,
no matter what Jay-Z had to do to claw his way up to the apex of the industry, it worked. But it left a lot of his friends and associates dissatisfied and betrayed. Will this come back to bite him in the future like it did Diddy? Only time will tell. That's it for now. Don't forget to tell us what you think in the comments below. For more updates, hit the bell icon.